We are gathered here today to mourn the loss of office Fridays. Thing is, remote workers aren't the ones in mourning. We're quite happy to be in the comfort of our own homes on the last day of the work week, am I right? I mean, we like our homes, our stuff is here, our families are here, our dogs live here, and we can work productively from here too. So who exactly is upset that we're no longer chained to our office cubicles and forced to sneak into the bathrooms every time Travis from finance comes nearby to avoid the inevitable invite to his stupid cosplay meetups? And the answer is cities. Well, also some old-fashioned CEOs, but cities are furious too, apparently. Well, at least that's what Bloomberg News just claimed. And they say that Manhattan is losing $12 billion a year because of remote work, now that Fridays are no longer office days and Mondays are not far behind. That is a lot of lunches and Metro cards. But hey, let me fix that headline for you. Yeah, that's more like it. This is episode 28 of Out of Office. And today we're exploring the shift from concentrated to decentralized cities, and despite that ridiculous Bloomberg headline, why it's a good thing for almost everyone. Last week we spoke about how unstable things are for remote workers everywhere, and quite frankly, it's only natural for that instability to extend to cities as well. When a population's habits and behaviors shift, that's not a tragedy, it's called progress. And the entire capitalist society is built around navigating that kind of change. And don't get me wrong, everyone's sad when their favorite lunch bar closes, but to claim Manhattan is losing $12 billion a year because of remote work is such a stretch, it's pretty much a blatant lie. And for starters, just because someone isn't spending $18 on a sandwich in Midtown doesn't mean they stopped eating. It just means they can now support the businesses in their local neighborhood instead. Secondly, New York's subway system has been struggling to cope with rush hour demand for decades. There have been so many multi-billion-dollar projects trying to fix that. This reduction of demand at peak times is going to save a fortune in projects that can either be reduced to new demand levels, rolled out faster because work can actually happen on Fridays, and maybe even canceled entirely. Now, Bloomberg actually came up with that figure by twisting the words of our favorite Stanford economist, Nick Bloom. According to them, the reduction in the number of human sardines and skyscrapers means missed restaurant and retailer sales, which is apparently the linchpin of New York's economic engine. And so what's driving this stalled engine? An outbreak of office vacancies, the transit system is in free fall, and, Sinatra forbid, less income tax is being paid in New York State. It all sounds a little dramatic to me. Is forcing people back into the city really the best option? I call bullshit. Here are 3 ways to reframe the city exodus from the perspective of people who live and work there. Number 1. It's unhealthy for cities to constantly get more concentrated, build more buildings, reduce apartment size, and raise the cost of living. No one can even afford to live in New York anymore. Maybe instead of more people, what the city actually needs is a contraction to allow those who remain to have a bit more space. Secondly, we already know cities aren't prepared for future climate change trouble, with floods, diseases, and who knows what else posing a particularly dangerous threat in concentrated areas. COVID is like a bullet to New York, and I saw that firsthand. Decentralizing is a natural market reaction to this, and it will probably make us all better off when something like that happens again. And finally, my catch cry in New York was, I hate people. I distinctly remember my 4-foot boss once shoving a tourist in the back to get out of the way. Having to dodge 1,000 tourists to get anywhere and wait hours for service gets old real fast. And Forbes recently reported that people are 20% happier at home. And maybe we all just needed a little space. If I still lived in New York, I'd be beyond happy to see the end of Friday commutes, endless lunch lines, and overpriced evening drinks. But how about you? I'd love to hear your side of the story. How's it been on your side of the world? How has your city decentralized over the past few years, and has it affected you for better or for worse? Let me know in those comments. Until then, here lies our motivation to ever go into the office on Friday ever again. RIP Office Fridays. Much like unboiled water, you won't be missed. I'm Andrew Allen, and the future of work is out of office.